Welcome to your community update. I'm Angela Stepp. Thanks so much for joining us today. Well, if you're catching us here live on WSOT TV at noon on Wednesday, then we want to say a great big thank you. And we do appreciate your support of the television ministry. It's an outreach of Sunnycrest Baptist Church here in Marion, Indiana. For over 40 years, we've been broadcasting throughout north central Indiana. If you're joining us on demand on YouTube, we thank you so much for finding us on our home there at WSOT-TV on YouTube. If you would, please do take a moment to like and subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything, but it certainly helps us out as we seek to build out our presence on YouTube and continue to share local, relevant content with the viewers throughout North Central Indiana on demand. Well, you are here for another community update, and we are coming to you live from the WSOT TV studio, and I have a very special guest with me today. It is Mr. Todd Nicholson. He is the president of Marion Community School Board, and I am so glad that you're here to share some giant news with us today.
Absolutely. Thank you, Angela.
Yeah.
There is a lot going on in Marion Community Schools, and even though next week will be fall break week, there's still a lot to look at.
You do have a lot to coming on with fall break. There's some always projects that are happening and events, and I'm just going to kind of get out of the way and let you just share with us, because I know you've got a lot of giant news.
Yes, you mentioned projects. There is actually a construction project that will be starting at Marion High School sometime the fall break week, and that will be replacing the chillers that provide air conditioning, basically, for the building.
For the high school? For
the high school building, yes. And that will involve a construction site near the, I guess it would be the southeast corner of Bill Green Arena, which that access point, I think it's entrance 10 perhaps, that won't be available. There'll also have to be a crane erected back there, so there will be a fenced-off area where people and cars are not supposed to be, and it will disrupt the parking that you're used to back there. And hopefully, though, by the early spring, we'll be back online with air conditioning, and it'll be much more comfortable, and we've a heck of a nice update for the school building.
I'm sure everybody's going to be so pleased to have some nice, cool, cold air coming in the warm weather months. And I'm glad that you share that. The parking area is going to be impacted then. So student, staff, sports attendants, sports attendees, they're going to want to find a different parking space. So it's that back behind the front of the building, so the back side of the building.
Yeah, the back side, I would say, of Building 4 will be the area that's impacted. That will impact winter sports that are in Bill Green Arena and that vicinity. So yes, probably need to use the west parking lot, or perhaps even the very east parking lot, depending upon how big the crowds are out there. It'll impact it. People get used to it, and I think everything will go fine, I hope.
Yes, yes. Well, I think another thing that we need to think about here with fall break, this is a really good opportunity. Immunizations. I know that is something that is important for every parent to make sure that their children are up to date with all their immunizations, and fall break would be a great time for folks to be able to take care of that.
Well, it would. The nurses, there's 7 of them, 1 in each academic building, and they will be sending letters home to remind parents that they do need to have the immunizations updated for their students. Actually, that has to be done by November the 4th. So if people have questions, they ought to call their schools and ask for the nurse, and they can update you exactly what needs to happen.
So important, so important. All right, well, there's another big event coming up that's going to involve the Marion High School Drama Club, and that is the Agatha Christie's Mousetrap presentation. It's going to be at the high school. The date for that is October the 7th at 7 p.m. It's in the Little Theater there at the high school. And I understand that this is something that everybody is going to want to not miss out on. Who doesn't love a good whodunit,
well,
right?
Absolutely. Yes, you are correct. The Little Theater, which is, I guess you'll call it behind the main theater at the Walton Center, that will be presented at 7 p.m. on October 17th. Mm-hmm. So we do encourage folks to come out and see these talented young people put this on.
I understand that there is a cost for tickets on that it is $7 per adult and $5 for students. So folks, if you would like to acquire tickets, then very simply, and more information, just go to the school website. That's marion.k12.in.us. So you'll want to make sure to check that out, and you can get your tickets there through the Marion High School Drama Department. And I understand there's another big event coming up.
Well, there is. The Black History Club is going to have a film screening, which will be on Saturday, October the 26th, which will be a story of the legacy of Private Gerald Dixon, who has Marion connections. He was a black soldier who was caught up in a situation in 1917 called the Camp Logan riots, and he ended up being put in prison, probably very unjustly, for what happened there. Part of what is going to happen is not only the screening of this movie, but then on the 2 days later, Monday the 28th, his remains will be interred at the Marion National Cemetery. So that's a big event for our Black History Club, and they are encouraging everybody to come out. It starts at 1 p.m. on Saturday, October the 26th.
Okay, is that a free admission scenario?
Yes.
So free admission
there is no admission charge.
Doesn't cost anything.
Nothing.
And so this screening then is going to be kind of and discussion is going to be kind of a prelude then to his interment there at the Marion National Cemetery that happens on Monday, October the 28th at 2 p.m.
Yes.
Okay. So that is something that anybody that would like to attend, it's open to the public, and everybody is encouraged to come and participate in this very important opportunity to honor somebody who is worthy of that honor.
Very much so. And if you're familiar at all with the works of the Black History Club, you know every time they put on something, it's a quality presentation.
Very much, very much. We very much appreciate Bobby Owensby and all of her work, and we always look forward to being able to share some of the exciting things coming out of the Marion
Yes.
Black History Club.
She is a gem.
She is. All right, well, there's another event coming up on November the 1st, and that is another production. It's going to be happening at Marion High School in the Little Theater, and it's called Kids at Heart. This is something that's going to be happening, I believe it's a concert that is set at 6:30 p.m. on Friday, November the 1st, and that is going to be an entrance through door 17, so folks can find their way around, because it is a large campus.
Yes, 17 is on the west side, I guess behind where you would think the Walton Auditorium is. It leads to the Little Theater. It's pretty easy to find once you're inside there. Mm-hmm. And that is, yes, that is a presentation of the choral groups there, and they do a great job.
They really do. The performing arts at Marion High School, well, actually throughout the district, it is something that the school should have a lot of pride in. There's a lot of great things that come out of the performing arts, and glad to see that they are putting forth these different productions for people to be able to benefit from, and I really hope people do support them.
Oh, I echo that completely. I did go to the I guess they called it a fall concert last night at Walton Auditorium, where the band played, and it's the stage is filled with musicians. It's really packed. It was very, if you go, sometimes you go to the football game, the marching band, there's the volume is what you expect from an outdoor arena. Inside the Walton Auditorium, it's quite more impressive when you have all of those instruments playing. And they did a great job. And it seemed like most of the participants were dressed up in some kind of costume, because immediately after that they had a trunk or treat event.
Oh, how fun. That keeps it interesting, right?
Yes, it does.
Yeah, you never know what you're going to get to see.
Yeah.
It's always fun. Well, talk to me a little bit about, so we were talking about the arts there, but let's switch over to academics. I understand that there are some really good things coming out of the advanced placement program, And there's also some college board honors, national honors that were recognized. And I understand that there's a lot of great things coming out of the realm of academics in the high school.
Yes, there are, and that's something that Marion High School prides themselves on. And then, every year it's a little different. They have students who excel in one AP area or another, or maybe lots of different areas. But yes, the most recent was the class of 2024 was recognized for excellent performance on multiple advanced placement tests for the 23-24 school year. There was also some current students besides the ones who graduated last year.
Right.
There were 6 who had at least 3.5 on all their exams, 4 of which were on the class of 2024, and 2 of them who are seniors this year, Nathaniel Beck and Michael Harrington. There was another group that was cited as AP Scholars with honor for at least a 3.25 on all exams, and that was a member, Leela Fisher, a member of the class of 2024. And there were a number of students who gained a 3 or higher on 3 different AP exams, a couple of graduates in 2024, and then 6 seniors that will graduate in 2025.
Let's think about the significance of that for a minute, because we aren't talking about just your standard, this isn't like an honor roll kind of situation. These are advanced placement courses. This is college level coursework.
Exactly.
Correct? So you have so many students that are not only participating in taking the advanced placement courses, but they are doing so with honors, with distinction. And that's just getting them then that much more ready for real world experience, whether they go on to college, which we assume that they will, or to pursue another type of degree or certification. But talk to me just for a second about Marion Community Schools and their commitment to helping students be ready. When they do graduate, they are ready for the real world.
They are. We hope they all have a path to what they want to do next. Sometimes when you're 18, maybe that doesn't always end up that way, but at least you go through Marion Community Schools and they will try to help you decide what path you want to take and see if you go ahead and do that and see if that's what works for you. And certainly an academic path is very achievable at Marion Community Schools. And part of that is due to the AP tests, perhaps, and the other things that they can do academically. The instructors have to be qualified in those. So that means our instructors are giving up time to take special classes they have to have in order to teach at that college level. And that's that sort of commitment is really gratifying.
I'm glad you bring that up, that it's not just something that you forget we focus on the students, rightly so, but I think it's very easy to forget to mention the fact that the faculty are, in terms of professional development, they are advancing themselves, and they themselves are having to rise to another level of their professional walk, right? So that right there speaks then overall, because those teachers are teaching all students, not just advanced placement students.
That's correct.
So everybody is benefiting from the effort that goes into helping students prepare and doing so on a college level. So
it's amazing every year at graduation you hear about how many students have some advanced placement in a college level course. And it has helped a number of our students get out of maybe taking an entry-level course in college with 150 other people and have a little better introduction to that life.
So that was my next question then. This is all going then to translate into cost savings for the students, for their families, in terms of their post-high school education. The students are able to graduate, like you said, with the ability to not have to pay to take courses entry-level courses at a college level. And I've heard even where some students have graduated with enough college credits to enter college as a sophomore, and even in some cases as a junior.
Yes, we've had that in the past, and those are really exceptional students, but they have exceptional instructors that help them get there.
And that gets them right on the way to their career that
Sure.
much faster as well. Puts them ahead of all of their colleagues. So that's a nice competitive edge to be able to
Certainly
lead Marion
is.
Community Schools with that. Speaking of competitive edge, JROTC, that program is doing some great things. And I right before we went live today, you had just shared with me that the Raiders have done some more great work.
They have. They had a competition in Camp Anderberry earlier in October. They came in second. Their nemesis seems to be the Hobart Brickies. They've traded first and second place with them a number of times throughout the years. Giants, they did well. They took a lead in certain events. Certain other events, they were exceeded by their nemesis there. But they'll have another chance. There's a national event coming up very soon at Fort Knox in Kentucky, and both Marion and Hobart will be there, and we'll see who comes out on top this time.
I have a feeling the Giants are going to do some big things.
I hope so. Mm-hmm. Counting on it.
What about sports season? Anything that you want to bring us, since we've talked academics and arts, anything exciting coming out of the sports program that you want to highlight today?
Well, I think we've had some decent seasons by many of our fall sports teams. Spring sports seem to have the worst problem with weather, but fall we've had a nice fall for those outdoor sports, particularly soccer, football. Well, we had one football game, lightning, but it has turned out pretty well. Some of the teams haven't advanced in the tournament like we'd hoped they would, but I think they all gave it their best, and I think we can be happy with what they've achieved. The football teams is still involved. As you know, the last Sunday they did draw the pairings for the football playoffs. Marion got a bye for the first round. So this Friday they will go to Anderson to finish out the regular schedule. Victory at Anderson, I believe, would put Marion as in second place in the North Central Conference this year, which is a very good achievement. Then the Friday after that, which I believe is November the 2nd, they would play the winner of Huntington North and Frankfort. Now, receiving the bye gives them a week off, but it also means they'll be the visiting team when they do play. So November the 2nd, you may want to consider following your Giants up to Huntington or perhaps over to Frankfort. We wish them the best of luck.
We certainly do. So hopefully, this Friday then they'll be kicking off their fall break with that game.
Yes, at Anderson.
And we're going to hope for a Giant win.
Yeah, we will. I think you can count on it.
All right, that's good. All right, well, thank you, Mr. Dickelson. We appreciate you joining us today, and wish you all the best of luck.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. That was Todd Nicholson. He is the president of Marion Community School Board, and always love having Marion Community Schools come in and share the giant news that's happening throughout the school system. And don't you look forward to hearing all the exciting things that are happening with our students? They are our future, right? So we want to make sure that we support them in whatever way that we possibly can. But we've got a few more minutes left here on the update today, and I've got a couple of other exciting things that I want to share with you. First and foremost, Marion Fall Festival is going to be happening October the 26th from 2 to 5 p.m. This is the City of Marion Parks Department. They are inviting you to their annual Fall Festival that's going to be happening at the Marion Mater Park. So, of course, they're going to have kids' inflatables, food, crafts, vendors, etc., all kinds of fun things happening. And, of course, there's going to be candy involved, and that is a free event to attend. There will be some cost to some of the different foods and vendors, of course, but of course there are going to be a lot of family-friendly, free opportunities for you and your kids to have a lot of fun. And again, that's going to be the Marion Fall Festival, October the 26th from 2 to 5 p.m. If you want to find out more, you can go to the cityofmarion.gov website. Also, while you're there, I want to remind everybody that the big Walkway of Lights Christmas Parade is going to be coming up right around the corner. That's the kickoff weekend of our big Walkway of Lights festival that happens throughout the Christmas holiday season. And so if you would like to have an entry in the lighted Christmas parade that happens it's after sunset. It's going to be in the downtown area, and it is a lot of fun. We've got some images there that you're seeing on your screen right now that were taken from last year's parade, and it is so much fun. So if you would like to enter, November the 1st is the deadline for you to be able to register. And if you want to register, again, just go to the cityofmarion.gov website, and they have a little search bar in there. You can just put in parade, and then that information will come up. It's through the Parks Department, and Rose Cadena is going to be who you would want to talk to if you have questions. All right, well, I have a video that I want to share with you. It is about WSOT. As you know, we shared with you that we just had our annual TV fundraiser banquet just this past weekend, and we were able to raise about half of the need at Saturday's event. So we still do need the other half of the funds to be able to replace our old standard def studio production cameras with new high definition cameras. We played this video that gives you a little bit of a background on the television ministry. We're going to share it with you now.
I pray that none of us will be here as spectators, but may all of us be here as participators. Lord, you knew exactly who was going to be here.
They've learned anything over the course of the first half of the season. We're going to find out this particular game right now.
So my question to you today is, where do you stand in your walk with Christ? Do you know him?
He was bruised for our iniquities.
That's a powerful ministry that you are helping somebody. You just said that somebody got their children back, that they were in a situation.
Yeah, I love doing this show, and I love informing the community.
Wouldn't you finally like to be free from the burden and debt of your sin? The Bible's very clear. You have to believe that Jesus is the Son of God. You have to believe with all your heart that he died on the cross for your sins, but that's just the beginning part of faith.
Sunnycrest Outreach Television has been a part of the fabric of Grant County for over 40 years. Highlighting local times and events for generations, our mission to bring quality family programming you can trust remains the same. Programming that's innovative, informative, and inspiring. Programming that shines the light of hope that's anchored in the gospel message of Jesus Christ.
As times evolve and our ability to connect with a wider audience through online video expands, it is essential for us to consider what it means to reach a global community. Establishing a strong online presence with high-quality video is paramount, and investing in up-to-date equipment is crucial to achieving this goal.
In uncertain times, the media outreach of Sunnycrest became a beacon of information during the COVID-19 pandemic, a source of hope for our community, and a vessel for sharing the gospel message with those in need. WSOT TV, broadcasting throughout Marion, Grant County, and North Central Indiana for over 40 years. Last year, WSOT produced 208 original local programs, broadcast 8,760 hours of family-friendly, faith-based programming. We'd like to do more. Will you help us? Our current need is $25,000, so we may acquire new high-definition broadcast video cameras. For the past 2 decades, we have relied on broadcast quality production equipment. Good video begins with high-quality cameras, and ours have now surpassed their useful life. In 2009, we transitioned from analog to digital video broadcasting, as mandated by the FCC. That transition brought about the opportunity to broadcast high-definition video. However, the cameras we currently use are older than the transmitter itself and are limited to the outdated standard definition format that prevailed throughout the 90s and early 2000s. As this equipment continues to age, we face increasing technical challenges that diminish the quality of our productions and, consequently, their viewability. As a nonprofit ministry navigating a challenging economy, we rely solely on the generous gifts, donations, and sponsorships from our viewers and friends. We invite you to join us in this mission. Your support will not only help us maintain our outreach, but will also empower us to create content that resonates and inspires our community. Thank you for considering a contribution to help us make this transition possible.
I volunteer for the ministry at church to reach other people that cannot get out and get to church. It's very important because, like I said, there's a lot of people out there that cannot get to church because of physical abilities, and this is our way of reaching out to them so they can hear what we hear.
It's not necessarily media ministry.
Mm-hmm.
It's because God's called us to serve. He calls each and every one of us to serve.
So I feel like the media ministry here at Sunnycrest is a very big part of what we do as far as the outreach for reaching our community.
It's very important. A lot of people cannot get here to church to be involved in our ministries here, so they watch us over the TV airways. And I think it's really an important message to them.
It's not just media as in cameras, it's social media also.
Okay, social media is the basic platform of today's society. Don't matter where you go. You're here, you're in Russia, you're in Ukraine, wherever. It's today's basic platform.
Many people throughout our community also consider themselves members of Sunnycrest, even though they've never been in the building. They just feel like this is part of their life, and we've ministered to them, and it gives them a great feeling of community.
Because this is what I like. This is what I love. I love doing this, and this is what I want to do as a career.
Steve Wright here, a long-time television supporter here at Sunnycrest Baptist Church, and I remember when we first come here back in 1989. And the television ministry was going on, and I'd always had a thing about video and television, and was excited to become a part of 130 people who used to serve here in the ministry of our television station. We'd go out and do all the ball games at the high school games, whether it's football, basketball, baseball. I even did gymnastics, as crazy as that sounds. That's tough to do when you don't know nothing about gymnastics. But we had a great time, and all the time intertwining our message about Christ. And I think back then, it was just one of those things that we all felt a passion, and it was a huge family. We want to get that going again. And the things that we did for the community, we had Money Matters that talked about finances. We had the Mayor's Talk Show that we talked about what was going on within the community, a live show. Mayor was taking live call-ins. And so to me, what all this does for the community, it just helps us get a good, positive story out. And we need that today more than ever. So if you can support, that would be what I would ask you to do. I know I'm going to. And I think what we do here at Sunnycrest is by far something that is big that God wants us to use.
Thank you so much for your prayerful consideration of support. We want to say a great big thank you for watching this video and for being with us today. One of the easiest ways you can support us is just by simply going online to our YouTube channel and hitting like and subscribe. It doesn't cost anything, it's quick, and all you have to do is scan the QR code.
Well, if you would like to help support family programming you can trust here on WSOT TV, we do invite you to go to the website sunnycrestchurch.org. Click on donate and choose WSOT TV. Do please give us your email address, as we would love to add you to our Friends of the Ministry newsletter so that you can stay up to date on all the exciting things happening within the television ministry. That's all the time that we have for today's community update. We thank you so much for joining us. Stay tuned for some more quality family programming you can trust right here on Sunnycrest Outreach Television. God bless.